Welcome to Let's Play Super Draft, your inside source on Super Draft, the most exciting development in daily fantasy sports. And now, here's your host, Tim McNeff.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Let's Play Super Draft, the show that's all about helping you navigate the next big thing in the ever-expanding world of daily fantasy sports. Super Draft is out to deliver winning experiences to every sports fan by getting you closer to the game and advancing daily fantasy sports as we know it. Get ready to create your fantasy lineups with less restrictions, all intended to give you an experience like no other. Speaking of experiences like no other, there he is, Super Draft's #1 recruiting coach, the one and only Kevin Weldon. How are you today, my friend Kevin? I was going to say that today is game day, but you know when you're talking about Super Draft, every day is game day.
Every day is game day. Tim, I'm doing fantastic, man. I'm excited to be back here. Every time I hear you give that intro, man, I just start getting all excited all over again because we have something that is so freaking awesome, dude. I'm really, really happy to be able to be here with you this week, and I'm looking forward to many more guest appearances on the show as we continue to share more about what we've got our hands on here.
Well, you know the door is always open. Where you're concerned, the light is on, the door is open. I want you to be a part of this. I appreciate you being part of this because you know what I found out, Kevin? That this Super Draft thing's not as easy as being in a boat, falling out, and hitting water. I went out yesterday. I put my lineup in first thing in the morning because I knew I had a day. And I worked my, this job and other jobs, I worked them till a certain time. And nobody's going to cry for me here, but I had my last night of golf league. And so I was out of pocket from 2 o'clock until past 6 o'clock. So the lineup was set. Guess what happened to my lineup? I had 3 guys that didn't play last night.
Oh,
So guess how much money I made last night?
Probably a big fat zero.
So I promise you, I am not looking at or touching it until after you and I have this opportunity to talk together and to share this with everybody else, because yesterday you took us through how to set our lineup for Major League Baseball. And today we have the added opportunity to set our lineup for Thursday night football.
Yes, sir. Man, I'm excited. I'm actually, while you're doing that, I've got my big iPad up because, as we get older, we either need to get a pair of these little readers or we have to have a much bigger screen. So I've got this jumbo. I got the big iPad Pro, and so I'm logged into my Super Draft account right now, and I'm just looking at the different package games, on the subscription that I have. I've got 4 entries today, so I'm looking right now at the NFL.
You're at the elite level.
I am, and I'm looking at the $1,000 Elite Super Draft Pro free roll, and I get a free entry in that one, and the countdown clock says I have 8 hours and 16 minutes and 23, 22, 21. It tells me exactly how much time I have before I need to lock in those picks. So once that countdown clock ticks down to 0, you better have the lineup that you're sure that you want to enter for that night, because once that clock hits 0, those picks lock. And if you don't have a lineup in, well, it's kind of like having a lottery ticket that expired that is no longer valid. You could scratch off and be $1 million winner. No good. So you got to get those picks in before the time runs out. And we've got a little over 8 hours to get those lineups selected for tonight's Dallas Cowboys versus the reigning Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady. Kicks off week 1 of the 2021 NFL football season. It's hard to believe it's here. Tim, it's going to fly by. We're going to look up a few weeks from now. We're going to be in week 8. We're like, where in the world do they go? But here's what we want. By the time that week 8 rolls around, we want to see a lot of you with thick wallets. Thick wallets. How does that sound, Tim?
Tim, that sounds great. That's what this show is all about. Let's play Super Draft. Super Draft, when I was told about Super Draft and got the education on it to the extent that I did, I'm like, okay, I love the fact that they're trying to give the everyday player a square deal, an honest chance to get in this. And so if you do this, it's like we talked about yesterday. I've had people who are experienced with the big fish who have the head start, and they're like, well, why would I want to buy a subscription? And so now after talking to you, I said, when was the last time you won a big pot in that league? And they say right away, well, I don't. You can't. And you can't. You're locked out. You mean you maybe, right? Maybe somebody could break through. It's like winning the lottery. But what Super Draft does is it levels the playing field. One entry per person. It gives you a better chance. And so I'm excited. I'm looking forward to playing. And what I want to do with this show, and you're helping us right now, you're my training wheels. You're helping me learn this. You're helping everybody else get going. But once we start going, I'm going to have people that are coming here and they're going to say, okay, CeeDee Lamb's had 3 great games in a row, but tonight, this is what Tampa Bay's got defensively. So maybe you want to do this instead. They're not going to tell you what to do, but they're going to give you inside information.
Yes.
And we're going to use it.
Yes, absolutely. I love that, Tim. And you're exactly right, because there are a lot of players out there, depending on what that matchup is. They may, you may have Jose Altuve, for the Astros. He may be on an 8-game hitting streak, might be hitting 400 in the last 8 games. But then he comes up against one of his arch nemesis pitchers, and somebody that he's historically not done very well. If you don't know that little piece of information and you put Jose Altuve in there and he goes 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and you get 0 points, you're going to be like, man, I wished how did he not do very well? Then you realize, oh, that guy's got his number. Then on the other side of the token, there may be some pitchers out there that Jose Altuve has got their number, and then you might want to pick him because he's historically batting 360 against that pitcher, and you got a lot better odds of earning enough fantasy points to put you up in the money. So these are little things that as you get to playing, you're going to learn and you're going to understand. But what better way to learn it here than going up against guys that have the algorithms, that have the statisticians, that have the office of workers that are putting in 100 lineups with all these different combinations, knowing that this guy matches up against this guy, but so does this one, and so does this one, and so does this one. And now they've got all these different combinations of players. They're putting in 50, 75, 100, 150 lineups at $25 a pop, at $100 a pop, so they can hit that $100,000 pot. It leaves guys like me out in the cold. But with Super Draft, and listen, there's 2 different parts to Super Draft now.
Right.
There is the paid entry side.
Yep.
Where people can put in more than one lineup. But what we are focusing on is the subscription model of Super Draft. That's what makes Super Draft legal and playable in all 50 states. You select a monthly subscription package, and depending on which one you get that many entries. And when you get a subscription, you can only enter one time. You can't get 2 subscriptions, at least not in your own name. You might get one in your wife's name, or your mom or dad's name, but it has to be in their name. And anyway, there's ways to protect the average guy out there. It's a lot of fun. The competition is fun. The smack talk is fun. And then you got a chance to win money every single day. So I love it. And I think that the more users that experience this, they're going to see the difference, and we're going to start building a massive group. And again, the bigger this group gets, the bigger this player base gets, Tim, the more subscribers we have, the more money gets paid out.
The more money gets paid out, and we're going to do special offerings in this group too. We're going to do things that are going to be just for the people who are in this group. You're going to be able to win things. There's going to be incentives. There's going to be cash options. And so we want to be the number 1 group for Super Draft. This is it. Let's play Super Draft. Bam. That's what I want to be the second word in Super Draft. So yesterday you took us inside Super Draft from your desktop, and you showed us how to set and change our lineup for Major League Baseball. Tonight we get to talk about football. And wow. So is it a much different process or basically the same thing?
Oh, it's pretty much the same thing. The way you go and select your lineups, we'll talk into a couple of the differences, but most importantly, we'll show you how to select that lineup. We'll show you where to find out how the players actually accrue points, because that's very important to know how your players get points. So we'll look at that. And then we'll actually put in a dummy lineup. Now, you guys may hate me up there, but I am from Texas, and I did grow up since a very early age loving the Dallas Cowboys. All right. So the Dallas Cowboys have always been my favorite team. Over the last 20 years or so, we have been in the dumpster. We've been in the cellar. You never thought there'd come a day that you'd want to put a bag over your head like the old Cleveland Browns. You remember the days when they wore the bags over their heads?
The Aints.
Oh yeah. So I just remember the first time I ever saw it was the Browns, man. But anyway, so yes, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. Love me or hate me for it. It's okay. Everybody's got their favorite team, but we are going up against Tom Brady and the reigning Super Bowl champs. And, with Dak Prescott being injured, almost all of last year with that horrific injury he sustained, there's really no telling what's going to happen. We do have some massive, powerful offensive weapons in CeeDee Lamb and of course Amari Cooper. Zeke Elliott says he's coming back. He's been declining over the last each year since he's been in, but he says he's on a mission. Dak is apparently completely rehabbed. There's no telling what's going to happen. Some people say that that's the best value that's out there. Dallas plus 8.5. I don't know. It could be a blowout. It could be a close game. Who knows? But we're going to certainly have some fun with it.
Well, the Cowboys have another back who's been creeping up on Zeke's playing time, and that's one of those potentially sneaky plays.
Tony Pollard.
Yeah, Tony Pollard for people out there. But just a real quick peek behind the curtain. I moved down to Texas. I took a job down in Waco in 1993 when the Cowboys were in the midst of their second run. Mm-hmm. And one thing I learned as an outsider moving in down there is that there was at the time the Houston Oilers. Now there's the Houston Texans. Mm-hmm. But that's like an outpost. The rest of the state is Dallas Cowboys, and it is as rabid as it gets.
Man, that is no lie. That's probably what got me in at a very early age. I mean, whatever you're surrounded by, But what was really odd? Hey, what was really odd when I was a little kid? We had a kid in our neighborhood that was a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and I'm like, how in the world are you from East Texas and you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan? It turns out his grandparents were from Pennsylvania. And they were, so that's all he heard. That's all he heard. And so he's like, ooh, I'm going to like them because my grandparents. Now me, I don't know what it was because my dad didn't watch football. Anyway, we can talk those stories another time.
Yeah, right.
Let's get into it, brother. All righty, I'm going to pull up the screen share. If you guys will bear with me for 1 second.
For sure. Plus, it gives us a good opportunity to look at that avatar of you during your country music days.
Oh, yeah. All righty. Can you see the screen?
Let me put it on there. I've got to do my part, and the screen is there.
Okay, so you see the Super Draft, the Super Draft game here, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Once again, we are in Natalie's account because she has more money, and I like for people to see money in this account. I like to see money in this account. So we are going to scroll down, and again, these are the featured contest. Natalie also has the Elite Pass. So again, if you just have the free pass, this will be the badge that will pop up in your Super Draft account. If you have the basic, then you'll see both of these badges. If you have the premium, you'll see 3. But if you have Elite, you're going to see all 4. You get to select a lineup in each of these 4 categories if you have the Elite Pass. So just wanted to make that clear. You get 4 entries with that Elite Pass. Another thing, too, that we didn't talk about, Tim, is that for the next couple of days, if a person purchases this Elite Pass, they're also going to get 2 $20 tickets that they can enter the big cash game. All right. And they've got a big cash game that's going to be paying out $50,000 to first place. And you've actually going to get 2 free $20 tickets to enter that game. You can take one for tonight's Cowboys Buccaneers. Top place pays $8,000, or you can put them both into the overall NFL opening weekend and pick players from all the teams that are playing, and have a chance to win $50,000. So that's an extra little bonus.
So potentially, you might have 5 plays tonight.
Absolutely. If you were to take those tickets, so we've already redeemed Natalie's tickets. So I'll show you real quick. Upcoming, she's got these entries here for and she actually we made a little bit of a mistake. So she had money in her account, Tim, and when I went to enter the game, I didn't click enter with the free ticket. I clicked enter for $20. So we actually spent $40 entering her in 2 contests, and then when I realized what I had done, I went back and I also used those 2 $20 tickets. So she actually has 2 entries for the NFL main and 2 entries for the Cowboys versus Tampa Bay. Now, this is in the paid side. Some states don't allow paid fantasy. I believe that Minnesota does.
I think so.
But some states don't. But if you are in Minnesota and you get that Elite package, you will get those 2 bonus tickets. They're worth $20 each. So there's a $40 value right there. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go back to the lobby, and we're going to go ahead and click on the Elite Pass. It says free entry. Again, because we paid that subscription, we get these free entries. So I'm going to go ahead and click Elite Pass. And now it's going to bring up the player selection for tonight's game. and I'm going to be able to pick. Now, this is championship mode. All right, this is a little bit different than when you've got several teams that you get to choose players from. When you've got a head-to-head, you're going to have a championship mode, and that means that the first player that you select, your champion, is going to receive 50% bonus points on what he scores in the game. Okay,
so you've got to give some thought into who that first player is you're going to enter.
Exactly. Now, I will tell you, if you look at this board right now, we talked about the multiplier system a little bit before. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail because we could literally be here for 10 minutes just talking about the multiplier. But what you're going to notice is that Dak Prescott, now he started off on a tear last year before he got hurt. He was the #1 fantasy quarterback last year. He's a 1.5 multiplier here. But if you look down here and look at Tom Brady is at a 1.9. So some people may think that this is the better deal to select for the top player. If you look in this green box right here, this is the fantasy points projections that they project that Dak could score if he has his normal game. So 42.3 compared to Brady at 40.5. You probably, if you're just going by those numbers, you would probably pick Dak Prescott. Now, some people may say, Kevin, there's no telling what's going to happen with him. He's coming in and off that injury. I don't know that I'm willing to take that chance. So the safer bet would be to select Tom Brady. So let's just go ahead and select Tom Brady as our champion. Now, once you do that, because remember there was a 50% bonus added, now when you go back and look at Dak Prescott, you see he's only a 1x multiplier. Okay? Before he was a 1.5, but since we didn't choose him in this top spot, everybody goes back to their normal multipliers. So you'll see Evans down here, wide receiver Evans for Tampa Bay. He is an absolute dynamite player. If Brady has a good game, I imagine Evans is probably going to be a pretty good target. So we may go ahead and throw him in there. Now, Zeke Elliott, Dak Prescott, these we don't really know. If you look at these fantasy points, it says that Dak could potentially earn 28. Zeke could potentially earn 19. If you're just going by this, then you may want to add Dak next. So we're just going to go ahead and throw him in there. All right. Then we're going to come down and really now.
So you just did something interesting. I think a lot of people are used to the fact that it's an either or situation. You can play one quarterback or another quarterback, but in this situation, you can play more than one.
Exactly. See, this is the thing that's really cool about the championship mode. You get to pick a player that you think is going to do the very best and earn you the most points. All right, so you can select him. Then your next 4 super flex players can be any player from the teams that are playing, and it doesn't matter if it's another quarterback. Okay, so you can do that. Usually quarterbacks generate a lot more points than other players because they've got so many different ways to do it: passing yards, rushing yards, passing touchdowns, things like that. So keep that in mind as you're making your lineup selections. Now, you have to have at least one player from each team. So if you are heavily favored towards the Buccaneers and you've got one Cowboy in there, you can pick 2 more Buccaneer players, and you can have it could be 4-1. You could have it the other way. You could have 4 Cowboys and 1 Buccaneer. You could have 3-2 or 2-3. You just have to have at least one player from the opposing team. So we're going to go down and select our next player. I'm going to go ahead and throw Zeke Elliott in there as my running back, and then I may go down here and take Jones. And I may throw him in there as well. Now, here's what everybody needs to understand. This is probably a fairly common lineup. If you have a fairly common lineup and there's 50 other people that pick the exact same 5 players as you do, then there may be a lot of ties and it may knock you down the leaderboard, or first place may not pay out nearly as much if only 1 or 2 people win. It's kind of like when 18 people win the lottery as opposed to 1 or 2 people winning the lottery. So keep that in mind. This is where these multipliers come into play, because some of these players down here, like you got Fournette down here at 1.7x, you got CeeDee Lamb at 1.75. This actually might be a better choice than Evans. I don't know. This might be a better choice than Elliott. I don't know. You get to pick. Then you got Gronkowski down here at 1.95x. If he's going to be a popular target with Brady, then you may want to throw him in here. So these are things to think about. That's why, with 5 players and 2 different teams and lots of guys that can score you fantasy points, that's kind of how there's some strategy that goes in here. And there's a little bit of luck involved too. So now that I've got the 5 players, and I'll be honest with you guys, this is not the lineup that I'm going to officially go with tonight. I'm not going to put the lineup that I'm officially going to go with because, nobody wants to give away their little the thing that they think is their secret sauce. So, but I'm going to go ahead and click enter. And now I've got this. It says success. You've submitted your lineup. All right. So I'm good to go for that category. I can go back to the lobby and I can go and select the next category, which would be the premium. Okay, and I can go ahead
quick question. So you said you just did that for our benefit. You just showed us how to do this. You put that lineup in, but Natalie doesn't have to stay with that. You were successful in doing that, but you still have until 7 o'clock Central Time, game time, basically, to go back in and change that, correct?
Yes. So here's what you can do. When you get back into your SuperDraft account, if you'll come up where it says upcoming and click on upcoming, it will show you the games that you have that haven't started yet that you can still make some modifications to. All right. So this is the game that we just put the lineup for. I'm going to click that. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click this edit button right here. Okay.
Okay.
So when I click that edit button, it's going to allow me to come over here and I can swap out any of these players simply by hitting that X button and then going back and adding a new player.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. I can actually take out all of them and then I can go back and I can select and then I can start building a new lineup. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Populate it right over again.
Yep. And then you click save. SuperDraft IO says lineup saved. Okay.
Oh, that's easy. Slick.
Mm-hmm. So now I'm going to go back to my lobby. And once the game starts, now I'll tell you guys, the picks are going to lock about an hour before the game starts. So again, you'll always see the countdown clock right here, 6 hours and 43 minutes left to get those picks in. So once you go through and you select your lineups, if you want to double check, you just come up here, you click on upcoming. It'll show each of your games that you have. Once the games start, this green, this live button is going to light up green. And that's going to show you your current standings, and you'll be able to see all the people that are in the game. You'll be able to see the leaderboard. You'll be able to click on your lineup, and it'll show you where you're ranked so far as that game progresses. And then once the game is over and they do the final tabulations and the final payouts, you just simply click on that history, and then you can scroll over and you can see, you can see if you won any money. How does that?
I love it. Hey, we're at 22 minutes into this thing, Kevin. If I could, I'm like to bring you back if you're ready to do that, because we said
let me show you one quick thing before we do that. Sure. I'm going to go back over here to edit this lineup, and I'm going to just real quick. I'm just going to take out Tom Brady, and now we get to select the champion again. So if you'll come over here and you'll actually click on the players' names, we may have talked about this yesterday, but if you click on the players' names, it'll give you some stats and a little bit of information to help you make a better decision on, do you really want to pick this guy or not? So I wanted to remind you guys that you can simply come over here and click on the guy. And if you want to go do some outside research, again, if we're talking about a $50,000, this is why people have offices of people that work for them, because some of these bigger cash contests, you want to get as much information as you can to help you make a great selection for your fantasy lineup. So just want to remind you guys that you can click on the names and get some recent news and stats on that player to let you know if you want to do it or not.
And I believe if you purchase the Elite package, there's even more analytics. Isn't that correct?
That is correct. You do get some cheat sheets and some fantasy player optimizer tools that you'll be emailed each day that will help you in making your decisions and help you get better at playing daily fantasy. Okay.
No, I didn't mean to give you the bum's rush on that, but we talked yesterday that this is really a two-pronged opportunity. There's the opportunity to play, and there is a business associated with that. And yesterday we touched on it right near the very end, but I just wanted to see if we couldn't spend a little bit more time on that, like the last 5 minutes or so that we have, just going a little bit more into the business opportunity that is SuperDraft.
Oh, absolutely. That's one of the things that's really interesting about SuperDraft compared to the other daily fantasy companies out there is that, and I use this all the time, we can show you how to be in the money even when you don't win. See, this is winnings. This is coming from playing daily fantasy sports. All right. But a coach, a person who decides to become a promoter with SuperDraft, you get to do that. It's a $40 annual coach's fee to actually be a promoter with SuperDraft. And as we go out and we promote the app, as we promote gameplay, as we invite people to come and play with us, when we sell subscription packages, Tim, we can get commissions from that. And then as we start to build a street team, and that is when we find other people that would like to be a coach and do this as a business, we can actually get overrides from the teams that they build as well. So this is direct sales, this, home-based business, network marketing, whatever you want to call it. But it's unlike anything I've ever seen before, because now we're not trying to sell weight loss and skincare and energy drinks and CBD oil. Not that there's anything wrong with those things, Tim.
Right.
A lot of people, millions and millions and millions of people all over the world are making great extra money with home-based businesses. But personally, for me, Tim, I just don't have, that's not something that I'm passionate about. But sports, on the other hand, is something I'm passionate about. Daily fantasy is something that I'm loving, and it's not just an energy drink. This is a way for me to have fun and win some money every day. So when my product, as a Super Draft coach or a Super Draft promoter, when my product that I'm out marketing is a subscription to come play daily fantasy sports and have a chance to win cash and prizes every day, that is something that's easy for me, and I enjoy it because I know one thing. That subscription that I'm out marketing and promoting and sharing with other people, that subscription has tremendous value for those of us that enjoy sports and like playing daily fantasy. And it also, if you get a $19.95 or if you get a $50 or if you get a $100 subscription, there's commissions that come back to the coach that referred that. And then if that coach decides that, hey, all I want to do is come play, you don't have to pay the $40. You can just get a subscription package and play, and whatever you win, you win. But one thing that we didn't talk about, Tim, is if a player, not a coach, just a player, just somebody that says, hey, I just want to get a subscription and come play. If you have a subscription and you are playing, all right, and you have somebody that you have told about Super Draft, even though you're not a coach, we are going to have what we call winner match games, Tim. And this is another thing that is absolutely going to explode this thing and help it go viral. Because think about this. If you get into a game that's got a $5,000 cash prize, why would you go and tell your buddies to come get in it if you know that all you're doing is creating more competition for yourself, right?
Sure.
You would want that game to have as few players as possible.
Absolutely.
But what if I tell you this, Tim? What if I tell you that if, as a player that has a subscription package and we have one of our winner match games, if you share with one of your friends and your friend wins first place, you are going to match his winnings. Now, how motivated would you be to go share Super Draft with your buddies?
A lot.
And this is not for this is for the coaches also, but this is for anybody that has a subscription. When we have these special winner match games, and they'll be announced, and it'll say this is a 50% winner match game or this is a 100% winner match game. Think about this. On the Super Bowl, I've been told that we're going to have a winner match game. I don't know what that prize is going to be. It could be $50,000. It could be $250,000. But if you are a player with a subscription and you share, say you have the $19.95 subscription and you share with your buddies and they get the $19.95 subscription and they win first place, you're going to match that win. If you have the $50 package and you share with a friend that has either the $50 or the $19.95 and they win first place, you're going to match that. If you have the elite package and you share with somebody, whichever package they have, if they win, you're going to match that price. So this is something else that Super Draft is doing to help encourage people to come and have fun with this, that makes us different, that is going to help this thing explode and go viral. And those of you who want to do this as a business, we are literally on the ground floor right now. This is round one, and we would love to Super Draft you. And you've got a great support team to help you build your street team of players and coaches so you can create that residual commission that you'll get paid month after month, year after year. Because, guys, Caesars Entertainment is not going away. Sports is not going away. And daily fantasy sports is not going away. So we are literally on the ground floor of something for the right person, for someone that would love to have a home-based business, a side hustle, make some extra money. Yes, me too, Tim. I've always been told if you got more than one bill coming in, you should have more than one paycheck coming in. And when we're talking about something that can actually win you money, look, that's one game, Tim. That's $300. The subscription cost me $100 for the month. And in one day, I made 3 months worth of subscriptions by playing Super Draft Daily Fantasy.
That doesn't talk about your residual income that's coming in.
Doesn't even count the residuals. No.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and so I just wanted to tack on to what you're talking about, timing. I really pushed to get Let's Play Super Draft started now. Do we have all our social media together? No, we do not. Are we working on it? Yes, we are. And we're going to get it together because I wanted this thing started before the season started, because think about it. Here comes the NFL. College football has just started. In a couple weeks, both the NBA and the NHL go to camp. And in October, they will both start to play. College basketball is going to start to play. The PGA is going to start up again. And so all of these things are going to be happening all at the same time. This is the slow time. We're just starting tonight with the return of the NFL. So if you ever wanted the ideal time to come in, learn about Super Draft, and get started, this is it.
And one more thing too, Tim, before we go. Remember, guys, we do have a free and fun subscription package that doesn't cost anything. Tim will be able to post a link on his social media, or if you guys want to reach out to him through email or all the different methods that he has, he can actually get you a player's link that you can actually get the free and fun package. And that'll give you one entry every day for free. Now, again, first place is only $10, second place is $5, but it's free. And it will allow you the opportunity to come and experience Super Draft and see if this is a good fit for you. Some people have started out with the free and fun, and within 2 days, they've upgraded to the elite because they saw that the lineup that they selected in the free and fun won them second place and $5, but their score was high enough to win them $100 in those other categories. This is a lot of fun, guys. And again, if you're more interested in the coaching opportunity, again, just reach out to Tim. He can send you the coaches link that will give you the information that you need to make the decision. Is this something that I want to get involved in? But we are on the ground floor. This is round one. As this continues to grow, some of the people that you could be inviting, that you could be sharing about, may be hearing about this from somebody else. And if you want to ever be on the ground floor of something, now is your time. And this is sports. This is fun. We're having a blast with this. And there's truly, Tim, there's truly an unlimited earning opportunity here. We're going to have some people that are going to be earning life-changing incomes, having fun with daily fantasy sports. And don't forget, at the end of the day, we are the official daily fantasy partner of Caesars Casinos. This is the real deal. We've got the firepower. We've got the star power. We've got the money behind us. This is sports. It's not going away. And we would love to super draft you. Tim says in the first round. Don't wait till round 2 or round 3. Tim says he wants to super draft you right now in round 1. Come in. We'll teach you everything you need to know. But most importantly, we're going to be right here with you every day. I'll be here for the next few days. And then Tim is going to have this program going from now until.
Absolutely. He is the #1 recruiter for Super Draft, Kevin Weldon. Kevin, this is such a great opportunity to have this. So I want to ask one thing about tomorrow's show. Will you share the lineup that you used, or at least one of them? You'll probably will switch it up, but you can.
I will enter 4 different combinations of players to kind of even it out. But yes, I will, as long as I don't get any hate mail or death threats for who I pick.
You will. I don't know.
Oh my God, Weldon, you picked all Cowboys and you only picked Tom Brady. What's wrong with you, bro? They got blown out 86-2. They got a safety. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, just kidding. Yes, Tim, I would be happy to. Yes.
Around here, the Cowboys are, but
I know, bro. I know.
It's all about the Packers here, because what happens is they all come here for jobs and they stay. So now we have them all in our mix, so it's just sort of like.
Well, I'll tell you what, as we continue down this journey together, I'll tell you my Brett Favre stories. I had an opportunity to meet and spend some time with Brett Favre a few years ago, and I've got some really amazing Brett Favre stories that I think I might be able to share with you guys. He actually signed my guitar, and then, of course, that was right when he left Green Bay and went to Minnesota. So I think there might be some people that might be interested in hearing some of those Brett Favre stories.
Well, I heard one of them, and it's hilarious. So I can't wait for you to get to share that story. But that's where we're going to leave it for today. Tomorrow, of course, we are headed into the weekend. Baseball, college football, and yes, NFL football, folks. This is not the time to be standing on the sidelines. Join the link to my team. It's going to be on Twitter. It's going to be on Facebook. We're going to promote this show. We're going to promote this thing. We're going to build the best Super Draft team community in the country and hopefully in the world. And it's going to be due because we're going to work at it. We're going to have fun with it. And that man's going to show us how to get it done. He is Kevin Weldon, #1 recruiter for Super Draft. Kevin, I can't thank you enough. I can't wait to talk to you again tomorrow. This is the highlight of my day.
Awesome, Tim. I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, my friend.
All right. We went a little overtime today, but I hope you found it all worth it. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. Let's play Super Draft. Here we go. It's the Cowboys. It's the Bucks. Have fun with your team tonight, Kevin.
Thank you for engaging with Let's Play Super Draft. You can find more episodes of Let's Play Super Draft at www.letsplaysportsnetwork.com, on the Let's Play Sports Network Facebook page, Twitter account, YouTube channel, and everywhere you find your favorite podcasts. Please rate us if you liked Let's Play Super Draft, as that's how we find and build an audience, which will allow us to bring you more great content from the Let's Play Sports Network. Thanks for joining us, and remember, let's play every day.